Most people start learning data structures and algorithms with the hope that it will help them crack coding interviews and get a good job. But very soon, they begin to feel frustrated, stuck, and sometimes even defeated. The problems feel too hard and solutions too confusing, and the entire process starts to feel like a burden. But here is the truth, DSA is not supposed to feel like a punishment. In fact, when done right way, it can actually be interesting, rewarding, and even enjoyable. The problem is not with DSA itself. The problem is in how most people approach it. In this video, I want to share a fresh perspective. I want to show you how most students are doing DSA the wrong way and how a simple shift in mindset and method can make a huge difference in your learning journey. Let's start with the obvious question, why do most people find DSA boring, difficult, or frustrating? The main reason is that they treat it like a task instead of a skill. Most students are told that DSA is necessary for placements or interviews, so they start watching tutorials, reading PDFs, and solving problems on platforms like LeetCode, Codeforces, or Geek for Geeks. But they do all this without any real curiosity or interest. The only goal is to complete the syllabus or solve 200-300 questions before placement season. When you learn anything just for the sake of the results and not because you want to understand it, you will naturally feel stressed and bored. This is not a healthy way to learn. There is a common belief among students that more problems is equal to better preparation. So they set a target, 300 problems, 500 problems, but this approach often backfires. Here is why. Solving problems without understanding the concepts deeply leads to shallow learning. You may be able to copy a solution, understand it for the moment, and move on. But after a few days, you will forget it. Or worse, in an interview, when a slightly different question comes up, you won't be able to think clearly. You will feel blocked. This happens because you memorized the steps, you did not learn the skill. DSA is not about memorizing, it's about problem solving, and problem solving is a skill that develops through practice, reflection, and understanding, not just repetition. Instead of jumping into platforms and trying to solve as many problems as possible, start by understanding the core concepts. These include arrays and strings, hash maps and hash sets, stacks and queues, linked lists, etc. When you learn each concept, don't just watch a tutorial once. Try to understand the intuition behind the data structure or algorithm. Why does it work? When should it be used? What are some of the real use cases? What are its limitations? How does it compare to other techniques? Use visual aids. Dry run the code with pen and paper and try to explain it yourself or to a friend. These habits makes your learning active instead of passive. Once you understand a concept, and next step is to apply it through practice. But this needs to be done in a structured and purposeful way. For example, let's say you are learning about the two pointers technique. Don't just solve one question and move on. Solve at least 4 or 5 problems of increasing difficulty using that technique. Each time you solve a problem, ask yourself, did I understand the problem clearly? Could I come up with the approach on my own? Did I need to look at hints or solutions? Can I explain my logic to someone else? Can I solve a similar problem without help tomorrow? This type of review process ensures that your brain is truly learning, not just temporarily remembering. Also remember, it's okay to spend 1 hour on a single problem if that time helps you understand it deeply. Quality matters more than quantity. Many students measure their DSA progress by the number of problems they have solved. But a better way is to track your progress by skills mastered. Ask yourself, can I solve any medium level sliding window problem without help? Do I understand how binary search can be applied beyond just searching in a sorted array? Can I write the code for a recursive tree traversal without looking at a tutorial? These are indicators of real progress. You can maintain a progress sheet where you write down concepts covered, your confidence level on each concept, beginner, intermediate, or confident, number of problems solved per concept, mistakes made, and what you have learned. This keeps your learning focused and honest. A mistake many students make is to keep moving forward without reviewing what they have already learned. Every 1-2 weeks, take a break from new problems, go back and revisit old ones. Try to solve them again from scratch. You will be surprised how much you forgot or how much better you have become. Also, write short summaries of the techniques you have learned in your own words. This helps reinforce your understanding and creates a personal revision resource. Reflection is as important as practice. It helps convert short-term memory into long-term knowledge. DSA is not a sprint. It's more like learning music, painting, or a language. You cannot rush mastery. It takes time, patience, and repeated effort. The best programmers in the world did not become experts by doing 200 problems in 1 month. They developed their skills slowly but steadily with consistent practice and curiosity. So stop comparing your journey with others. Everyone has different speeds, strengths, and backgrounds. Focus on your growth. If you want to enjoy DSA, you need to remove the fear and bring back the curiosity. Some ways to do that are: try competitive coding once a week to challenge yourself. Discuss problems with peers. Sometimes just talking about a question helps clear confusion. Set small goals and reward yourself when you achieve them. The goal is to make your brain enjoy the process, not to fear it. One of the most important things to understand is this: learning DSA is a long-term journey, not a one-time task. It is not something you finish in 30 days or even 3 months. You may be able to cover the basics in that time, but real mastery takes consistent effort over time. That's why creating a daily or weekly habit is more effective than doing everything in a short burst. Start small. Even 1 hour a day of focused DSA practice can bring solid results in the long run. Pick a fixed time, maybe early morning before classes, during a lunch break, or after dinner, and make it a non-negotiable routine. Make a realistic weekly goal. For example, week 1, learn arrays and solve 5-6 basic problems. Week 2, learn hash maps plus solve easy to medium problems. Week 3, learn 2 pointers plus sliding window. Week 4, review what you have learned. This way you won't burn out and you will stay consistent, which is the real key. Now let's talk about interviews. This is the main reason most students start DSA in the first place. But unfortunately, many of them don't prepare smartly. The truth is, most product-based companies don't expect you to solve 1,000 problems. What they really care about is how you think, how you break down a problem, and how you communicate your approach. So here is what you can do to prepare in a better way. Understand patterns. Don't try to solve random problems every day. Group problems by pattern. For example, practice 10 sliding window problems back to back. This helps your brain recognize similar structure. Solve real interview problems. Use curated lists like the Blind 75, Neat Code 150, or Striver's Seat. These lists cover most of the important patterns asked in the real interview. Simulate real interviews. Start doing mock interviews with a friend or use platforms like Pramp. This helps you get comfortable under pressure. Talk while you code. In interviews, explaining your thought process is often more important than getting the right answer. Practice this skill. Speak out loud while solving. It improves clarity and confidence. Review and revise. After every problem, whether you solved it or not, write a short summary. What you tried, what worked, what didn't. This is your personal learning log. Let's be honest, DSA is not always fun. There will be days when nothing works, when you feel stuck, or when others seem far ahead of you. It's easy to lose motivation. Here are some practical tips to stay consistent. Track your progress on a Google Sheet. Even small wins matter. Seeing the list grows keeps you encouraged. Talk to peers who are also learning. Studying in isolation is hard. A small support group helps. Watch success stories. Many engineers who cracked top companies didn't start as toppers. Their stories show that consistent effort beats talent. Take short breaks. If you are stuck, take a walk, do something else for 20 minutes, then return. A fresh mind solves problem faster. Celebrate small milestones. Solved your first medium problem? Finished all 3 problems? That's worth a pat on the back. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. Even if you don't feel excited every day, show up for yourself. At the end of the day, DSA is not just about getting a job, it's about building your thinking ability. It teaches you how to approach problems, how to handle complexity, how to break down big challenges into small steps. These skills will help you throughout your software career, even if you never touch lead code again after getting a job. So instead of seeing DSA as a box you have to check off, make it a part of your learning identity. Take ownership. Make your own notes, track your own growth, reflect on your own mistakes. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep improving. So if you feel like DSA is boring, stressful or confusing, it's probably because of how you are approaching it. Not because you are not smart, not because you are not meant for coding. You might just need to slow down a little, focus more on understanding than finishing, practice with reflection, stop comparing yourself with others, and enjoy the learning process one step at a time. With the right mindset and clear strategy, DSA can become one of the most rewarding parts of your programming journey. So stop dreading it. Start doing it the right way. And remember, you don't need to solve 1000 problems, you just need to solve 100 to 200 with clarity. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.